Welcome back to the Jassic Show. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of different cars that we've got today. I'm AJ, and as always my co-host is Jassic.
What's up?
The first car we're going to be looking at today is not the 1987 Chrysler Conquest, because we've already talked about that car. Maybe when it's cleaned up we'll talk more about it later. Today we're going to present a car that we've had working out in the making for the past year. A car that's been on the verge of going to the junkyard. It has suffered from severe fire damage to the wiring harness. As you can see, parts of it have been repainted. We're actually in the process of fine-tuning the engine. It has just been rebuilt with a new M28 head and a steel head gasket. This is actually an 86, so it's actually called a Dodge Conquest as opposed to the Chrysler Conquest or Mitsubishi Starion. Does have the 7-inch wheels in the front, the 8s in the rear. Let's take a look under the hood, Jassic.
Alright.
Show us what you got.
One heck of an engine. That's what we got.
He is running the 14B turbo, so it's a slight upgrade for these cars. It does have the aftermarket over the valve cover pipe with the blow-off valve on it. The rewiring that we've done so far, the connector was completely fried for the knock box. As you can see, that's been rewired, and you can barely tell that it's been tampered with whatsoever. You can see there the fuse panel has suffered some severe heat damage, as it's not supposed to melt at all. Also, you can see some evidence of that there on the caps for the brake master cylinder. We still have some more wiring to do as far as the connectors for the distributor, and I'd like to rewire the wires going to the temperature centers, one for the gauge and one for the computer. He is not running any type of vital control with the exception of the mechanical set screw that comes in the throttle body. And if we come over here to this side, you can also see we've wired in the 6-wire airflow sensor from the 87 to 89 model cars. One of the fascinating points, and I like to actually bring this out, you can see we have no map sensor. It's supposed to have one, but there isn't one there. And we'll actually show you how well this car runs here in just a second. Jassic, would you like to take it away?
Yeah. No map sensor. It's not going to run.
That's what everybody says.
Alright.
He's actually not running any type of an exhaust system on it right now. He's got a 2.5-inch exhaust that comes all the way back. And as you can tell, it idles just fine, no issues whatsoever. Engine's a little jumpy. We are still in the braking phase of this engine, so the valves will need to be readjusted. We did go back with the mechanical lifters and valves. But we've got a little ways to go, not completely done just yet. But I'm pretty confident that pretty soon, once we get a paint job on it, finish up the wiring, take care of a few knickknacks here and there, this will actually be a pretty stunning car. He's actually going back with the decals to go on the back in silver, and it will be repainted the original Chinese red. Jassic, do you have anything to add?
Well, yeah. I just want to say it's not bad for a 30-year-old car that caught on fire. It's coming along nicely, so hopefully before long I'll have a nice paint job on it and an 88-89 for an air dam.
Alright. If you want to go ahead and shut it off, we'll go ahead and move on to the next car that we're going to talk about today. I think you still have the key to it.
Yep, I do. Right here. Let's look at something a little nicer, shall we? This one's not done yet. This one, however, is.
Alright, today we're going to present to you, this is a recent find of mine. We actually traveled all the way to Huntsville, Alabama to pick this car up, and it has absolutely no rust anywhere.
Worth every mile, too.
And that's one thing that I really like to brag on about this car, as these cars have some very significant issues with rusting. But this is my 1985 Toyota Supra P-Type. Just put a new set of tires on it today. Believe it or not, paint still has a very nice shine to it, and most people will not believe this. It is the factory paint. Is it a low mileage car? No, it is not. The car actually has going on about 220,000 miles on it. Still runs strong. Jassic, if you want to pop the hood, we'll take a look at it. And
Thing is beautiful. Look at that, hood still pops. It's a very good example of a virgin car.
These come factory with a 2.8 liter dual overhead cam, inline 6. This is the 5MGE, Yamaha designed and manufactured. This actually has a very rare piece from the 1990s, 80s and 90s. It does have the aluminum over valve cover pipe, which was a slight aftermarket mod that you could put on these cars. Opens up the intake sound a little bit, and it also helps increase airflow with fewer restrictions.
Great for simplicity too.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and start it up for you, let you hear how it sounds. The entire car is almost completely original. There are a couple of aftermarket add-ons that I have done to it. Nothing real significant or anything of that nature. We did put LEDs in the dash cluster, so it does show up a little bit nicer. It gets rid of that ugly green. And the exhaust, the resonators and catalytic converters have both been removed. Actually has a pretty nice tone to it. The short term, I'm actually actively looking for someone who can touch up the factory paint. I would prefer to keep it original. I also look to put the aftermarket decals or the OEM decals, whichever I can find, back on the car. Maybe the pinstriping. And that's about it. These cars are notorious, since they are slightly higher compression engines than normal, they are notorious for having head gasket trouble at around 180,000 miles. This one has actually been fortunate enough to have been taken care of already, so that's a good thing right there. You got anything you want to add, Jassic?
Yeah.
Alright, well, these are the cars that we have for you today. So we've got 2 more to tack onto the Jassic collection that we currently have. If you have any interest in us, you can actually check out our page. If you just do a Jassic search, that's spelled Jassics. You can also find more of our videos through YouTube. The best way to locate us would actually be on Facebook. So, that's all we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed watching. We'll have more informative videos to come. We'll catch you later.